testing. Oh, man. All right. Yo, what's up, people? How y'all doing? What up? Welcome to the Tim Black Show. My name is Tim Black. My people. How are you? Man. We're in the building. I want to welcome all the people to the Tim Black Live Show. You're in the right place. I'm just late. I want to say what's up to my moderators, Buck Bewley, Black Mamba, and the one and only Ebony. Ebony, what's up, sis? What a night. Look, guys, every time I was ready to go, I found another clip. This stuff, it's crazy what's happening here. We love to show instead of tell, so we do that. We're on a lot of platforms, wherever you are. Do me the decent, I don't know, hook us up. Yeah, hook us up. Hit the like button and hit the post button and share it wherever you are. A like helps us in the algorithm. A post also helps us share. That helps. Anything you can do to help spread the word is greatly appreciated on each side of the tracks. We are doing this tonight. We are also, we got a lot to get to, so I'm be brief. We got a couple stories, and we have a lot of commentary. Remember, this is not a news show. This is a political commentary show, which means, what's the difference, Tim? Well, I don't just read you a news article. I don't just read you prepared remarks from or words handed to me by a sponsor, by a station manager, a showrunner. I'm not adhering to anything by a party. It's none of that. This is just me looking at the news, providing commentary on it, telling you what I think about it, what it means, and then you make up your own mind about how you feel about it. We don't try to convince you of anything. I don't tell you who to vote for. I just tell you what I think about those bastards that are running. And what's happening? Look, so the Tim Black Show, you go to jointimblack.com, become a member, and that's the deal, fam. If you find anything tonight, so if you're watching the show for the first time, we do the live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We got our people here. These are live recordings. So what you see here tonight will be edited for time, typically, in me messing up or really bad, if I mess up really bad. And then he's put out his clips. So that's one of the things we do here. Most of my clips that I've done on my YouTube channel, on my X, on my Rumble, on Facebook, on Instagram, X, wherever you are, those are derived from the live shows right here. We don't use a teleprompter. We got notes for different segments because I want to get people's names right, but that's about it. If you are down with that, go ahead and become a member of the show by going to jointimblack.com. $5, $10, $50 a month, whatever you could do, helps us keep and maintain independence in a world full of paid spokesmodels. You do understand that most of the people that you clap for on TV are paid spokesmodels. There's a running thing we say in the news thing, right? Is you don't get paid to say, you get paid to say what they want you to. That's the whole deal. You get paid to do what they want you to do at the network. And if you ever stop doing that, then you're gone. Sometimes they get rid of you just because you suck, but sometimes they get rid of you when you are, when you cross the line too many times. So we want to stay away from the line to cross. We don't want any lines to have to cross or stay behind. We just want to be ourselves all the time and speak from the heart. And that's why we need membership. And that may sound like a broken record, but we're independently funded by people that watch the show. You know what's crazy? For some reason, When I be talking about the pain that working class people feel, when I'm start talking real shit about race, about war, about poverty, about drugs, whatever I'm talking about, for some reason the advertisers just don't want to support the show. So that's another thing. But it's all good, man. We fight the good fight. Look, I don't wanna go too far now. We can get into this. I got my tea, I got my honey. And that's gonna have to hold us down tonight. There's something going around, man, like a stomach virus. Anybody else had this thing's going on? I don't know. You know, it's kind of, it goes, it comes. I don't know what's happening, man. I don't know, man. That damn Dr. Fauci. I had to push this little Keebler elf ass down some stairs. You know what I'm saying? Since then, things ain't been right. You know? You know what I'm saying? All right, we good. My people are in the building. We're live. Everybody can hear us. Share it. I know people, some of you are probably about to go night-night. Some of you probably went night-night, woke up. Oh, Tim's on. All right, let's do it, Johnson. Let's get into the content, man. I hate when I'm pressed for time and then things don't want to work right. I think I got the bugs out of this. Let's see if this looks right. Oh, man, we got some drama tonight, Johnson. We got to get some stuff off the screen. All right, fam. Y'all ready to buckle up for the Tim Black Show? All right, y'all ready? Y'all done? Y'all down for the most dangerous show in America? Y'all ready? All right, I hope so. I'm going to hold you to it. I don't want to hear no waffling later. All right, let's go. Let's do this.
Next up with Tim Black.
Taken off the roadways in Chatham County after an early morning crash. The deceased, a beloved special education teacher, Dr. Linda Davis, who worked less than a mile away at Hess K-8. While students were out for President's Day, Monday was a work day for teachers like Dr. Davis. The school responding, releasing a statement saying, "We should all expect and try to understand that there will be a variety of emotions and responses as to what has occurred. The most important thing we can do is to be supportive and encourage an open expression of feelings." As for what led up to it, police say ICE officers initially attempted a traffic stop of 38-year-old Oscar Vasquez Lopez. The Department of Homeland Security says he was initially stopped, then sped away, running a red light and making an illegal U-turn, which caused the deadly collision. DHS releasing this photo, saying he was in the country illegally from Guatemala. Vasquez Lopez has been charged with reckless driving, driving without a valid license, vehicular homicide, and other offenses. ICE policy says in regards to a situation like this, ICE officials use reasonable and necessary force when someone resists arrest. ICE officers and agents prioritize safety, including the safety of the people that they arrest, and are highly trained in de-escalation. Vasquez Lopez is currently in custody in the hospital. Authorities say he did not suffer serious injuries in the crash.
All right. First off, we want to give condolences to the family and friends of one Linda Davis, Dr. Linda Davis, who lost her life tragically at the hands of a scumbag running from the police. And I also want to point out, this was unnecessary. This woman dedicated her life to teaching children, and her life was snatched away because somebody not only wanted to be in our country illegally, but didn't want to go back. Shame on those people that have framed this story as if this is a police problem. I don't get it. Oh, I get it. You're just a tool of the establishment. So let me get this right. Cop pull you over. You stop. There's no chase. When you realize it is ice, you speed off. You go the wrong way. You make an illegal U-turn. You hit somebody, and now it's the cops' fault. Everybody reporting this is saying ICE killed a woman when they didn't hit the woman's car. Make it make sense. Why is it that Mr. Vasquez is not being regarded as a killer right now? Why is it that he's getting special preferential treatment right now? Look, man, why are we running interference for the guy who's breaking the law, ran from cops in his car, now turned it into a weapon, and runs into a lady and takes her life? Why are you defending him? He killed a sister. Man, I am convinced that some of y'all are not even black, you're blue. And I don't mean the cops, I mean blue as in Democrats. Yeah, you're not black Americans or foundational Americans. You're Democrats. You want to run back and claim blackness only when it's co-signed by your Democratic Party, fam. If anybody else would have fled the police and ran into this sister and took her life, you'd be blaming them for doing it. But since this person's an undocumented immigrant and you've been told by mainstream media that means they're able to run from cops, it's fine. It's the cops' fault if they try to pull them over. You know what? You don't get treated that way. You know what? No one gets treated that way. People love comparing this. I'm seeing some of the conservatives compare this to, Black Lives Matter and, different issues that black people deal with cops. And no, this is way worse. Way worse. Nobody ever, I remember the Jorge, the Abrego Garcia dude, whatever, here from my state of Maryland, who was deported. Nobody ever fought to get black people back from another country. Maybe you didn't even fight to bring black people here to begin with. I mean, these Democrats are going hard in the paint. This is unprecedented how far authorities, media, everyone bends over for undocumented immigrants. It's ridiculous. Fam, I've been doing this almost 15 years. I've seen so many stories. Fleeing from police in your car is against the law. If you hit somebody while doing it, whether you are white, Native American, Asian, black, you're at fault. Now, I was with you marginally when it came to Renee Good, because shooting into a moving car, that's against all types of protocols. You can't do that. It happens a lot, though. I've covered it several times. Whether it be an unarmed underage black kid who didn't want to get a ticket, didn't have insurance, and tried to speed off. That was a couple years ago. Police officers shot him center mass in the chest, said she was reaching for a taser. She lost her job, and I think she went to jail too, I'm not sure. But she started crying, so you know how that happens. When you got a white female police officer crying, things tend to go a little lighter on her. I can't remember exactly what happened, but some people remember it. So what I'm saying is it's not unprecedented for cops to shoot at people fleeing, suspects who flee. And that, to me, is a dereliction of duty. That should not happen, but it happens. It happens to everybody. White people get shot too. People get shot fleeing from cops. Seems like we're the #1 bullet catchers in America. But this right here is not strange. This is standard. You get pulled over and then you flee. And then you hit somebody. Now here goes my question, folks. Would you have rather they shot this guy? Because so what happened. He fled, they didn't shoot him. After the traffic stop, and what does he do? Trying to get away, he runs into a woman and takes her life. Should they have shot her? If they would have shot him, there'd be riots in the street. If they don't shoot him, he kills a woman. These are the decisions that are on the table. Oh, hold up, there's another decision on the table. Maybe he could have kept his ass in El Salvador or wherever he was at. There you go. Maybe Biden and company doesn't need to let in a bunch of undocumented people who have no driver's license, who have no business being here. Maybe that could have. But we can't say that. You can't say that, can you? You can't say it because you're a Democrat. You can't say the truth. Don't tell me about what Republicans do. Right now, we're talking about what Democrats do. And I'm talking about Dr. Linda Davis, who lost her life because this punk ass didn't want to go back to his country. He wanted to flee. He fled. He can't drive for shit. And he killed her a mile away from her job. And instead of hearing people say, what a despicable thing, how horrific this guy was for taking her life, we got people defending him and making it all about ICE. Do you know how many times a year, I wish I could look it up real quick. You know how many times in a year this happens? No one ever defends the driver. When a driver is fleeing police and strikes an innocent person and kills them, no one ever defends that. Only time it gets defended is when it's an undocumented person. Only time. I never see it defended. Even during the heyday of Black Lives Matter, people started getting quiet when they found out you fled the police. Because it's kind of hard to stand on business when it's so obvious that you're breaking the law. This is obvious. And this really ticks me off because we have black folks who are so brainwashed by Democrats. They'll see the picture of Dr. Linda Davis, that this sister's life was snatched by this asshole, and defend the asshole because Joy Reid told him to, or Don Lemon told him to, or Jasmine Crockett told him to, or the Democratic machine told him to. They can't even think for themselves anymore. What happened to thinking for yourself? Now, if somebody was fleeing the cops and hit your mom and killed her, it'd be different. You wouldn't say, why the cops try to stop you? Why the cops pull you over? How dare they? You'd be like, why didn't you let the cops pull you over? What my mom got to do with that? What does my wife have to do with that? I hope you guys can sleep at night. It's amazing you can. Just on TikTok, just sounding dumb. You are heartless. You are unethical. You're just hoping that you get an opportunity to be what? Another sellout, paid spokesperson for the Democrats. That's all you want. You know what? We got enough of y'all. We don't need more sellouts. We good. We done with the sellouts. We all stocked up. We don't need any more sellout mammies and Uncle, I won't even, you know what? Sambos. That's better. Because Uncle Tom gets a bad rap. Yeah. Some of the people y'all call Uncle Tom are really Sambos. Stephen from Django's is more appropriate. Let's keep it a buck. All right, family, that's all I got. Once again, my condolences to I don't know if she has children. I don't know if she has a husband. I don't know. Oh, hold up, she did have children. An entire classroom of children. For what? A guy that was breaking the law being him. By the way, to me, being deported or having an order of deportation for being undocumented or having your asylum rejected or your temporary permanent status rejected, it's just like having a warrant. No one cries a river for your ass when you have a warrant. They come, they get you, they lock you up. You could be at a funeral, you could be at a wedding, you could be getting a traffic stop on the way to school. dropping your kids off, and they would pick you up, separate you from your children, and put your ass in jail because you have a warrant. Why you think other people who are not American citizens should be given a different set of rules than you and I? I thought we wanted equality. I thought that's what we wanted. I thought we died to try to get equality, just for you to get in the front of the line for other people to get special quality beyond us. Now these black people got locked up today for warrants. Can't even do the numbers on it. How many American citizens who pay taxes probably got locked up and separated from their families today because they had a warrant out for something as dumb as suspended license, failure to pay a ticket, a moving violation, or some other shit? But no, you won't defend that or cry for that. But because the Democrats and corporate media told you, if you come into America without getting your paperwork stamped, without standing in that long-ass line, ain't my fault it's long, I didn't make the line, that's an excuse. You try that. Miss your child support payments. Go ahead. And just see how many people cry about you. Hey, it's just money. What did I do? Getting that sale, N-word. Getting that sale, Jeffrey. Miss some alimony and some child support payments, and see how much America gives a shit about your personal struggles. Oh yeah, we coming in hot tonight. We not playing with y'all. Tim Black's Wolfpack, we ain't playing with them, are we? Why should we mince words? These people are walking contradictions. Backwards. Y'all ready for the next one? Let's get into it, man. Where we at, fam? Woman lost her life. Y'all won't even stand up for. You said you're going to go out to ICE because it's the end thing. Bunch of goofies. I ain't say nothing but police. Police pull you over, you pull over. Go to court like everybody else. You don't kill people trying to get away. She had nothing to do with this. All right, let's go.
Next up with Tim Black.
We did receive information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment, number one. That is my understanding, that the federal government didn't shut this down, and we will do an official statement once we get another official statement that we anticipate is going to be coming from Paramount. All right, so we will read what they say, and then we'll go from there. It is our understanding that Colbert, either Mr. Colbert or CBS, decided that they just didn't want to hear it. And this was because of a fear that the FCC may say something to them, and that there may have been advice to just have me on, and then they could clear the issue. It was my understanding that someone somewhere decided we just don't want to do that, and instead we're going to just do it this way.
Okay, so this is confusing as hell, fam. But let me unconfuse you a little bit about what's going on. You know there's a race in Texas, right? Senate race, Jasmine Crockett is in Tallarico, right? So that's the race. And it's going to be, primary to see who's going to face the Republican. Republicans are incumbent, of course. It's a red state. Democrats haven't won this red state in, think, 35 years or something crazy. Okay, so it's very unlikely. So then there's this fight because Stephen Colbert interviewed James Tallarico, and then he said, "Oh, but we can't air it because there's a race going on in Texas." And then they tried to blame Trump and say Trump's administration said they couldn't air it. And actually, that's not the case. The case is that there's been a new FCC guideline that says if you are a news show, and if you give one candidate airtime, you have to give the other candidate airtime. And it looks to me Just cutting through the BS because it's a lot of words. Looks to me like the Democratic Party has decided they don't want Jasmine Crockett. So Stephen Colbert didn't want to interview her. He didn't want to give equal time to Jasmine Crockett and Tallarico. So they figured, okay, what the hell, we won't air it. We'll just put it on YouTube. Unfortunately for Jasmine Crockett, all of the protesting and complaining that they interviewed Tallarico without interviewing her has really boosted the amount of people that watched Tallarico. And when they watched him, they said, well, he's a more fluid, more reason, more, a more fluid, more down-to-earth Pete Buttigieg, which is bad for Jasmine Crockett because she's the opposite of that. And plus, he's a white guy. These things happen. That's what it is. And, and Jasmine Crockett is as likely to get Republican votes as, I don't know. I guess she's as popular with Republicans as Joy Reid is. So, and you're going to have to get some Republican votes if you're going to win Texas. So anyway, so that's that's the major points of this. Let's go a little bit further. We got clips. So that's the deal, man. It's all about CBS. Who said CBS couldn't bring on Jasmine Crockett? Why didn't they air Tallarico's interview? They try to blame Trump's administration. That ain't the blame. The blame is they just didn't want to give equal time to Jasmine Crockett. So now she is protesting because they didn't want her. Man, this is going to be a juicy commentary, man. Hit the like button, hit share. This is going to get rushed. This is going to get awesome. It's going to get spicy. Yeah, let's go spicy. That's the word, huh?
CBS released a statement today saying, quote, "The Late Show was not prohibited by CBS from broadcasting the interview with Rep. James Tallarico. CBS made the decision to bow to Trump's FCC and basically blocked Stephen Colbert from airing his interview with a Texas Democratic candidate." CBS pulled his interview on Stephen Colbert's show just before it was supposed to air. The reason that CBS pulled Colbert's interview with James Tallarico was because of a new kind of made-up rule by Donald Trump's FCC chair, Brendan Carr. Brendan Carr's new rule would be designed to intimidate talk shows and late-night comedy shows out of featuring political guests.
They could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert Show to go on.
You had a Democrat candidate who understood the way that the news media works. And he took advantage of all of your sort of prior conceptions to run a hoax, apparently for the purpose of raising money and getting clicks. And the news media played right into it. I think yesterday was a perfect encapsulation of why the American people have more trust in gas station sushi than they do in the national news media. And this was very plainly an effort ginned up to get clicks and to raise money. And you guys ate it up like slop. And when it was pointed out that the facts were completely different than what the fake news media was running with, nobody did like an about face and did a fact correction. They just pivoted and moved away. And again, I think this is why the American people simply don't trust the news media anymore.
Yeah.
And I know viewers outside of Texas and in Texas are looking at you and the other Democratic candidates running and wondering, is this the year? Is this the year when the Democrats can finally win statewide in Texas again? And just to set up the degree of difficulty, as you know, it's been 38 years since a Democrat won a Senate election in Texas.
Well, I think the reason the Trump administration and their billionaire friends are trying to silence me and this movement is because they're worried that we are going to flip Texas in November of this year. There is a growing backlash across our state to the extremism and the corruption in our government. And we are building a movement to take back our state and take back our country. We have traveled every corner of this state from Beaumont to El Paso, from Amarillo to Brownsville, and everywhere in between. We've recruited more than 22,000 volunteers who are out there doing the organizing work across our state. And we have shattered grassroots fundraising records, all without taking a dime of corporate PAC money. We're going to have to do a lot of work to overcome this kind of censorship. We got to get our message out to the voters across this state. And so if your viewers want to help us, they can go to jamestallarico.com. They can sign up to donate. They can sign up to volunteer. It's going to take all of us to pull off this feat of winning Texas, but it is doable. I'm seeing it on the ground. We just launched our Take Back Texas tour. We're going to go to every part of our state over these last 2 weeks of the primary campaign. And I think we're going to surprise a lot of people in November of this year.
Yeah, if you're kind of confused right now, what's going on, Johnson? Let me. The deal is this: Tallarico played everyone. He used this to his advantage. He said, "Oh, I did an interview with CBS, and they won't air it on TV." So you know what happened, right? Everybody, like all the Democrats, said, "Oh, this is a tragedy. It's a travesty. What's he trying to do to us?" Everybody go watch the Tallarico interview on Colbert on YouTube. So this thing goes viral. It goes so viral. This lie. It wasn't that CBS pulled it. It wasn't the Trump administration trying to stop Tallarico from having this moment. It's an FCC new rule. Jen Psaki said someone made up a rule. Yeah, that's how rules get made up. That's how rules become rules. They get made up. So Tallarico used it to his benefit. And Jasmine Crockett's left looking like, okay, with sour face, because this really helps Tallarico. A lie that CBS couldn't air his video, made people want to see it more. He looked like the victim. And then people love playing the victim in politics. And what's also dope is for Tallarico is it falls right in line with what happened with Melania Trump's biography, the thing on Netflix, compared to Michelle Obama's. See what I'm saying? The groundswell of Democrats was so fed up with Trumpism, they saw this the same way. They're like, oh, we got to go watch the Obama thing, let's bring down Melania. So same rules applied. Democrats went double time to watch the Tallarico thing. And it's so bad for Jansen Crockett. It's so uncomfortable. She has to come out. She didn't have to. She chose to come out and say, Tallarico and Stephen Colbert lied on Trump. Then she's to try to knock Tallarico down a couple pegs because he got a surgeon. I'm going to prove it in a minute. I'm going to have proof of that. She has to now convince Democrats that Tallarico's a liar. And the only thing she didn't call him was racist. And you know damn well she would have done that. She didn't call Colbert or Tallarico racist because all they had to do really is to interview her as well. They chose not to do that. So now Jasmine Crockett is calling. She's basically calling out Colbert and Tallarico. Let's keep going. That makes sense now?
So what about the prediction market? What do we see? Chance to be the Texas Democratic Senate nominee. Look at this. On Sunday, Tallarico was the favorite, but it was pretty close, a 61% chance. But look at that. It turns out this attention was very good for Tallarico. The prediction market, Kalshi prediction market, having his chance go all the way up to 3 and 4 at this point, a 75% chance of winning that nomination. So what about the prediction market? What do we see? Chance to be the Texas Democratic Senate nominee. Look at this. On Sunday, Tallarico was the favorite, but it was pretty close, a 61% chance. But look at that. It turns out this attention was very good for Tallarico. The prediction market, Kalshi prediction market, having his chance go all the way up to 3 and 4 at this point, a 75% chance of winning that nomination.
So, yeah, this really worked out for Tallarico's benefit. It couldn't have worked out better. It's almost as if it was scripted. So now Crockett has to play catch up in defense. attack Tallarico, make him look like a liar. And now there's claims of racism. She's trying to. It's bad though, because you remember he's a Democrat. She's going against a Democrat. Now she has to hit the Democrat and make the Democrat look racist, because that's the go-to. Right. He's a white guy. That's what you got to do, because that's the way your party's built. Shoot. In fact, I'm surprised she held back as long as she did.
You can put Tallarico's tweet on screen. He said the FCC banned our Colbert interview, and he's wrong about that. The FCC did not ban the interview, and that's what is actually so interesting about this. It's about the impression, the possibility of interference causing the networks to possibly self-censor. CBS read the proverbial room. They sensed that the FCC might try to aggressively enforce these rules, and thus encouraged Colbert just put it on YouTube and keep it off the public airways. And like I said, past chairs of the FCC have not prioritized these rules, but Carr is going to move forward with this. And it reminds me of a term Timothy Snyder has used. He's the author of the book On Tyranny. He talks about this as being an example of obeying in advance. He says most of the power in authoritarianism is given freely by individuals who think ahead to what a repressive government's going to do and then do it themselves. They obey in advance. And that's what many critics say CBS is doing in this instance. It also reminds me of what Don Lemon recently said when he pled not guilty to those charges in Minnesota. He said, the process is the punishment. Lemon's probably going to be found not guilty. He's going to get out free after a jury trial. But the process is the punishment. And there's something similar happening here with the FCC.
Yeah, it's not cheap to have to go to court. It's also, to a degree, humiliating as well.
To go on the television right now is very critical because people in Texas can vote in their primary. Their primary is very early, in the beginning of March, so people can vote now. He's picking sides in a Democratic primary. And if somebody can be on television and not have to pay for it, and your opponent has to go and pay money, which hundreds of thousands of dollars to equal that, he's picking sides. So it makes it very critical. And the other thing you have to realize, too, with Colbert, if you read the Newsbusters report, he's had 176 Democrats on his show and 1 Republican. But the Republican was Liz Cheney, only to complain about Republicans.
There's this young state rep.
Okay, before we get to Obama, because here goes the deal, Johnson. Very important. So it's very lucrative, very, very important to go on the Stephen Colbert show. That's what it's designed for. It's not there to entertain you with the jokes. It's there to help the Democratic Party. In fact, all of the late night shows, including Kimmel. Well, let me say Kimmel, Seth Meyers, and of course, Stephen Colbert. Those shows really, and like The View. These shows are not there to entertain. They're there. The entertain is like, it's like a soap opera. The real job is to sell the commercials in between the show. It doesn't really matter what you put on. And the whole purpose of these shows is to sell the Democratic Party, to help the politicians that are chosen by the establishment to give them a platform to reach the masses. Stephen Colbert did that. And it really has helped Tallarico's campaign at the worst possible time for Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett is a victim here, but it's hard to see her as one considering how loud she's been. But she got played. But this is not crazy, Johnson. I'm going to get to this thing here. We're going to play a clip of Obama. Look, Obama loves Tallarico. Loves him. The establishment loves Tallarico. Stephen Colbert is part of the establishment. He's not a rebel. Kimmel's not, these people are not rebels. These people are doing what they need to do to keep their money right, and they're going to ride with the Democratic apparatus, the DNC. That's what they do. No one who asked, my thing is this. I believe Jasmine Crockett is running for the Senate because she wanted to. She's very, I think Jasmine Crockett is arrogant. I think she thinks she's bigger than the program. Nobody bigger than the program, sister. You think because Trump says your name a few times. You did the Kendrick Lamar dance. You got popular. That's true. But that don't mean the party ain't the party. Jasmine Crockett tried to bully the bully and got bullied. Here goes Obama talking about Tallarico. I have yet to find a clip of him talking about Jasmine Crockett.
James Tirico, who was on there a while back
Yeah.
out of Texas.
Oh, that guy's good, right?
He's terrific. A really talented young man. And it does require a certain confidence in your actual convictions to debate and have a conversation with somebody who disagrees with you on a whole bunch of stuff.
What makes him so good, though? Because there is something grounded about him that you had it too.
I you know what? So in our foundation, a lot of the work that I do is working with young civic leaders, political leaders, journalists, human rights lawyers, not just here in the United States, but around the world. And one of the first things I say to them is, know what you really believe.
Right.
I think a guy like him, his starting point is,
He's still talking about Tallarico. If this is not an endorsement, what is?
let me say what I believe. I think now more than ever, what people long for, and the word authenticity gets overused, I think. What people long for is some core integrity that seems absent. Just a sense that, the person seems to walk the walk, doesn't just talk the talk.
Next up with Tim.
Yeah, so look, fam, it's like this. We have ourselves a situation, and let's be honest, guys, it is what it is. Jasmine Crockett got played. I knew it was going to happen. I said it. I've been calling it from day one. They'll let you be the loud black woman that's angry, pissed off, to get all the negative incoming, all the slings and arrows. They'll let you be that. That's great. As long as it helps them. As long as it suits their needs. But as soon as you start acting like you in the driver's seat, oh my God, nope, that's it. Let's remind her who she is. Folks, Jasmine Crockett gonna be out of office. I've been telling y'all this is gonna happen. Family, they do nothing but use you like a mule. And Jasmine Crockett thought she could outsmart the machine and just buffalo her way in. I got all the black people and I got all the baby, did all this shit. She thought she was gonna outdo Democrats. No. Family, you are not Donald Trump. And more importantly, this is the Democratic Party. They will crucify you. They will dump you like an old tire. Roll you down the hill, put you in the teep. That's what happens. Fam, I seen them get rid of senators. What's the guy who was on Saturday Night Live? They got rid of the guy because it's your time. You got to go. You're in the way. We need to offer somebody up. They're doing it with Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer right now. They're blaming the capitulation of the Democratic Party all on Hakeem Jeffries. He just got in power. Everybody's throwing him under the bus because it's that time. Somebody gotta take the hit. Jasmine Crockett thought she could come in because she got Trump to say her name, and she thought she was gonna be able to write her own ticket. There is no writing your own ticket in the Democratic Party. I don't care if it's you. I don't care if it's AOC. I don't care if it's Bernie Sanders. The party, there are no mavericks in the Democratic Party. There are casualties, a lot of dirt, buried bodies, but there are no mavericks. There are no rebels in the Democratic Party. They appear to be rebels, and then they go behind the scenes and cut deals. You said, I'm Jasmine Crockett. I could do what I want to do. And they was like, uh-huh. They were sitting back watching you. As far back as when Jasmine Crockett was in the State House, the rumors say she was hard to work with, that she was all about herself. She was on her own. Okay? She already had a reputation that she was hard to get along with, that she was a very self-centered, egotistical person. I don't know where they got that from. She doesn't seem to be egotistical at all. And sometimes that works for politicians, but not when you are, in the way. Now when you're trying to move from this to that without permission, oh man. Obama took Hillary's turn at the wheel in 2008, but he had support. He was able to split the Democratic elites. He was able to get certain Democratic elites on your side. What Democratic elites are riding with Jasmine Crockett? Yeah, I know. I've seen a couple of Democrats that are out of power support Jasmine Crockett publicly in this. They're not even in office. Who have you seen that's Democratic Party step up for Jasmine Crockett? Anybody in the squad? No. Jasmine Crockett is a one-woman show, a one black woman show. I told you it was going to happen. They're going to ride you, sister, as far as they can to get where they want to go. You were fun for entertainment. You kept the people's spirits up. Thank you for being a great comedian, Miss Wanda Sykes. But this is it. That's all you get to do. Jasmine Crockett's going to end up with a podcast. Come on, Jasmine. I'll pick you out a Shure mic. And I'll help you with your lighting and your set design. Yeah. That's what's your future. That's what it holds. Charlamagne the guy told you were great. Who gives a shit? Andrew Scholes kept praising you. These people, who are they? They boost your head up. They want Tallarico. They don't want you. Who gave you permission to run? You think this is a free country? Did you get in line? No, you didn't. She jumped the line, and now she's being taught a lesson. She'll be lucky if she has a career left in politics. I can't imagine what she's going to do next. Run for school board. She's a lawyer. Go back and lawyer. Go do some cases with Bakari Sellers and Benjamin Crump. There's all types of lanes for you, but this one is closed. Black woman, pay attention to this, please. This is supposed to be your party, right? You're the most loyal. Black people are the most loyal constituency to the Democrats. And look how they treat you. So I fought the Democrats, but I also fought Jasmine Crockett for being so smart, for being such a seasoned person, but not reading the writing on the wall. This shit was doomed from the word go. And instead of saying she's making bad moves, instead of saying she jumped the line, they're going to blame commentators like me for just telling the truth. As if I have influence. Motherfucker, Stephen Colbert just moved Tallarico up 20 points. It ain't nothing Crockett can do about it. She can't even call him racist when they wouldn't interview a black woman. Because then it's really over. She got a 75% chance her career is over, and if she drops the R-bomb and starts really going scorched earth on the Democratic Party, she's right on the borderline because she freestyles. She gets up there and she just makes it up. I appreciate it. But them emotions going to drive her. She's going to say the wrong thing, and it's over. I'll end with this. people love saying about the Republicans every time there's a black conservative politician. They love using terms like token. There's a phrase they use often about breaking their toys when they're done. Jasmine Crockett, you are a toy. To them, you are. And this time, you broke yourself. And they just let it happen. It is what it is. All right, guys, let me know what y'all think of this segment. Hey, it's Tough Talk. It's the real deal, man. Nobody is guaranteed anything. You don't get to decide. It's a party, man. It's a private organization. Democrats decide who they run. They decide who they back. They decide who they support. Next.
I am tired of people asking whether or not I am electable. The reality is that that is nothing but dog whistle. If you got a super PAC that's doing your bidding, then they need to go ahead and lift you up. What they shouldn't be doing is tearing down a black woman who, number one, is more qualified. These are just the facts. At the end of the day, I am the only one that has owned a small business. I am the only one that has actually practiced law both on the state level and the federal level. I am the only one that has been elected to do work on the state level as well as the federal level. And frankly, I did all of that, and we know that as it relates to my opponent. And God bless, because my dad is a teacher, so I don't want anybody to get this twisted. But he had 2 years where he taught charter school. And then after that, he went into the state house, and then he became a consultant for charter.
Mr. Tallarico has been up with a ton of ads this entire campaign.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets about your campaign strategy?
I don't. Listen, I think that Texans need to, number one, understand that Republicans are going to outspend us come November. This is just the reality. If we spend $100 million, they're going to spend $200 million. And if the only way that you can get through an election is by spending money, then we're going to have a problem anyway. We've tried that. We need a candidate that, yes, can raise money, and I am the 5th highest fundraising member of the House. So, yes, we need somebody that can get the resources. But more importantly, we need somebody who has a rapport with the people, because when we don't have enough money, because we will not match their money no matter who the candidate is, we never have, we are going to need a little extra something. I am tired of people telling me they don't know how they're going to afford to buy a home. I am tired of people telling me that the tariffs are making them shut down their businesses. This is not who we're supposed to be, and don't get me started on ICE and how we need to rein them in.
On the eve of the first day of early voting, State Representative James Tallarico, who is also running for Senate, was slated to appear on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. But that interview only aired on YouTube.
This is the party that ran against cancel culture, and now they're trying to control what we watch, what we say, what we read. And this is the most dangerous kind of cancel culture, the kind that comes from the top.
Next up with Tim Black.
Man, people gonna be mad, man. I can see it now. Tim Black, why you covering Jasmine Crockett? Hey, man, it's a trending story. I was telling y'all this from day one about her. It don't look good, fam. And I don't care who you are. That's a lot of talking Jasmine Crockett's had to do on the stump. It's a lot about her. And anytime you got to go that hard on your fellow Democrat, I don't think it looks good. I think it is what it is. She used the term black woman a couple times. That's going to turn off white voters and Latino voters. It is what it is. I'm just telling you facts. I've worked on a few campaigns, or I've been around some campaigns. I've had a few candidates come through the door. I'm just telling you. It is what it is. Next. Anything else? I don't think I got anything else here. Anybody got anything else? Am I missing anything, Johnson? Yo, I'm in Texas and I don't like either one of those two candidates. And now, you know what? That's the thing, fam. I'm just calling balls and strikes. I'm just calling balls and strikes. It is what it is. It's a contradiction. Jasmine Crockett says she's the 5th largest fundraiser in the Democratic Party. I don't know. I didn't fact check that. I don't know. But where's the money? Because you're running to be a senator. I don't know. I'm so confused. No, that's Israel, baby. You know, I think they both said they don't support AIPAC money, but for some reason, I don't know. I saw someone say something about that. I don't know. Let's keep going, fam.
In the East Room this afternoon for an event marking Black History Month. We're going to take you there live. You can see there's a very large crowd gathered in the East Room at the White House right now. So we'll take you over there when that gets underway. And also this afternoon.
Okay, so Donald Trump had his Black History event. Okay? Trump's Black History event was held today at the White House, and it had a lot of people there, as you can see. And they're just pointing out how it had a lot of black folks, a lot of folks. And it was marking the 100th anniversary of the observance of Black History Month. See why it was kind of important? The 100th observance. And on that day, we have people making it about immigrants instead of Black Americans. It's crazy. You don't seem as that would be a little disrespectful. I mean, St. Patrick's Day, what if we were talking about? I don't know. I don't want to pick a group, but what if we start talking about LGBTQ on St. Patrick's Day? People might be a little pissed. But we can't be pissed, though, because we're the beast of burden. We're supposed to carry on. We're supposed to be so supportive of anybody because we're here to support anybody. So Donald Trump, back to him, he had Ben Carson and Scott Turner, HUD Secretary, the new HUD Secretary. And it was something. Let's watch a little bit about the Trump Black History Month celebration. And I know that, people didn't think it was going to happen, but it happened.
Not only are we celebrating the century of Black History Month, also, as you know, this year we'll also be celebrating the 250th anniversary of our nation's founding. And the good thing, when they cheated on the election, they made me wait 4 years, and because I waited 4 years, I get the 250th year. I get the Olympics, which I was the one that got it, and I get the World Cup. So I got the World Cup, and I said, it's too bad before all this nonsense took place. I said, it's too bad. I got the World Cup to come here.
Let me just thank you very much, Mr. President. First of all, we are living under the administration of the greatest president in our lifetime. And we have the hottest country in our lifetime. And I want to make sure the mainstream media knows this, because you represent the people who basically counter what the mainstream media has done. President Trump was the president who fully funded historically black colleges and universities. President Trump took the lead and performed criminal justice reform. President Trump made sure that we had opportunity zones. Let me close by saying this. This country is at a crossroads, and we have the right president at the right time. And if you want school choice, like I know you do, President Trump wants it. If you want a law and order society and secure border, President Trump wants that. And more importantly, I say this because this is the greatest country on the planet. American citizens should decide American elections. Vote for the SAVE Act.
I love him. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about their racist stuff. And don't be looking at.
Oh man, this sister here, they say she is the feature of the night. She sort of brought the house down. This grandmother, I don't know where she's from, but she's gonna be a rock star, I'm sure. Tomorrow morning she'll be on all the talk shows. This sister right here, this grandma, that's what she says. She went viral for this.
I love him. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about their racist stuff. And don't be looking at me in the news hating on me because I'm standing up for somebody that deserves to stand up for. Get out the man's back. Let him do his job. He's doing the right thing. Back up off. And Grandma's saying.
That's right, she said, back off of him. Back off of him, he doing the right thing. Don't y'all come in here with this racist stuff. Oh man, my thing is this, fam. All presidents, all administrations are full of shit. All of them. It's amazing how Republicans are considered to be the only ones that are full of it. That's the only ones. It kills me that we have people that believe the narrative that Democrats are saints and Republicans ain't. Joe Biden was the last Democratic president. He was also a white guy. People didn't call him racist, even though he did racist shit. Even though he signed racist policies. That's what he did. But they only reserved that for Donald Trump. That's crazy. If you can't see, I'll repeat this. If you can't see the flaws in both political parties, then you are confused. You are brainwashed. If you can't see the flaws in both political parties, then no one should ever listen to you. And any commentator who cannot see the flaws in both political parties and point them shits out, then they are a tool. They're not even a commentator. They're a spokesperson for a political party. So highlights here, I don't have all of them. Trump paid homage. He mentioned Mike Tyson. He said Mike Tyson was a good friend of his, and that Mike Tyson supported him and stood up against those allegations that he was racist. They've been good friends for a couple decades. He also announced that Ben Carson will be receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor outside of military awards. And then he also gave a tribute to Jesse Jackson. Said he was a hero, a street smart, he had grit, he was a piece of work, but he was a good man. He offers condolences and earned a lot of cheers from the crowd. So, Trump won't get any credit for it, just like he did last year. He didn't get any credit for it because they can't give him credit, because how are you going to frame him as a racist when he's in a room full of black people giving praise to black folks? Well, it's kind of hard. But they're going to do their best and have been doing their best all day. Let's see.
Happy Black History Month, happy Black History Year, and happy Black History Century. Thank you all. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Next.
It's just bad that everything in our country hinges on race. It hinges on race. But here's the problem I have with it. We don't seem to benefit from it at all. The people just use it as a way to keep us arguing, but at the end of the day, how does it benefit us? People think it benefits black people that race becomes this controversial topic, but it's not like we benefit from it. No, we don't benefit from it. And I think a lot of black Americans are now waking up and they're saying, you know what? Let's just focus on the economics. Let's focus on our pockets and our wallets. Let's focus on our education. Let's focus on our homes. Let's focus on things that actually prepare our children and set them up for better lives instead of focusing on this intangible, abstract thing called race. Because at the end of the day, we're not getting nothing out of it. All they're doing is using it to pull us in and get votes from us, and then they don't do anything. Because how are you going to fix how people think? How could you even quantify how people think unless you have some tangible goals? So I'm saying let's focus on the tangible goals. Let's not focus on the race. Let's focus on the goals. And if we do that, yeah, it's going to help some poor people who are all colors, but at least we'll get that. Because I think the handwriting's on the wall. Democrats ain't going to do nothing but keep on giving us lip service. And too many of us are falling for it. So maybe if we can convince more black Americans that it's about this in your wallet, in your family, in your mortgage, in your student loan, or it's about your financial future. Being able to survive in this country and the AI and the robots and all that shit's coming, maybe then we can hold some people accountable. But if they just keep being quiet and letting the conversation be ice, baby, let the conversation be about who doesn't like us, how does that help your children? It doesn't help my babies. It doesn't help my kids. So I'm off it, man. I'm off it. I'm not going to allow them to use that shit against me. I will continue to stand up on these issues, but as you can see, man, they just want to make everything about that. They don't want to be. They're not fighting for anything for us. They're just keeping us in their corner by pointing over and saying that guy's racist. And that's it. And you say, okay, what if he is? What you gonna do for us? Oh, nothing. We won't be racist. Okay. Maybe you're trying to get into heaven or what? Okay, fine. What does that mean? Well, I'm gonna hire a couple of black people and put them in high positions. And they're gonna move into neighborhoods where there are no black people. And then they won't be able to. But you'll be able to see them. They're doing really well. I mean, it doesn't help your life, but we help them. They look at Katanji. So see, I feel like it's a setup. That's what I think. Next. It is what it is, man. It's a setup.
Up with Tim Black.
Level. And by the way, this whole thing they talk about the white culture and, let me tell you, it's all about the white culture, this, and, we have a problem with this. Every one of these guys, as much as they bash the white culture in America, they only marry white people. Kamala Harris's spouse, white. Ilhan Omar's spouse, white. AOC spouse, white. Every one of these guys, you keep talking about them. They're trying to go to that. It's not working.
Next up.
Now, look, I agree. I agree 100%, man. I've had words with Pat Bet-David before on X, right? Because he's one of those people that downplay race, right? To the point where he acts like it's non-existent as an issue. Now, it's an issue. It's just not the only issue. I stand behind that. I think race is an issue, but it's not the only issue. He wants to act like all you gotta do is hustle harder. Okay, fine. But I can say this he's right about. I mean, how many times you gonna look at a Democrat who's got all this mouth, all this shit to talk, and then at the end of the day, they're married to white people. But they want you to think white people are that we need to fight this race battle. But meanwhile, like everything's about that. But meanwhile, they're married to white people and they seem fine and happy. Don Lemon's a perfect example. The guy puts out this clip where he's shitting all on white men and then he goes home to one. What's that about? Ilhan Omar, same thing. Americans, it's disgusting what Americans have done, and the white supremacy is rampant in America, and then goes right on to a white husband. AOC, yes, the structures of racism is diabolical. We must understand the intersectionality of white supremacy and poverty, and then goes right to the white guy. We even got some commentators who do the same thing. Yeah, we know who you are. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. They do the same thing. They go right home, take out a white guy at home. They get quiet when it comes up. What do you want me to do? Divorce my white husband? Nah, just stop lying to everybody. You don't believe what you're saying. You're saying it because it sounds good to say. You think it's what people want to hear, so you say it, but you don't believe it, or you wouldn't be doing it. So that's the whole point, guys. Family, we all know to be in a marriage is hard. If, especially if you choose the wrong partner. So, look, it's hard enough to make anything work. I get that. And it's hard enough for the long term. I get that, So I'm not about that, like policing who you marry. But it's contradictory to then, like, to spend your career or spend a lot of time shitting on white people and saying they're ruining it, that they can't be trusted, that they are all these things we gotta, and then you go, man, then you're with one. Just imagine if you were like, I don't eat pork chops. Pork chops is horrible. Then I come over your house and you got a whole table full of pork chops. What's up with the pork chops? Where's the consistency? See, in any other thing, you would understand exactly what I'm saying. It makes perfectly good sense. It's a contradiction for you to be like, white this, anti-white, this, white people this, white people that, and then be with white, then marry white people. Not that I give a shit. It's just you contradict you. It would be like me being, I'm supporting black Americans. I'm advocating for black America, black America, black America, black America. And then you come see Mrs. Black and Mrs. Black is actually Mrs. White. You be like, what the hell? Like Touré. Touré recently put out a clip. Just him, not a network behind him. He chose to put out a clip where he says he's giving white people the pass to call a black ICE worker the hard R N-word. As if he could do that. And then when you look at his family, he's married to a white woman. And he's married to a Jewish white woman. And he is Jewish. Fam. Why wouldn't Touré give all people a right to use whatever slurs about Jewish people? I'll tell you why. Because he's not crazy, that's why. Because he has no respect for black people, so he can say whatever the hell ever he wants to say about black Americans, but he would never say that about Jewish Americans, because he know that'd be the last time his ass would have a job at Rolling Stone or anywhere else. He'd be rolling in front of the liquor store. That's what he would be doing, but see, he's able to do that to us. How can a guy that didn't even marry a black woman be able to tell black people or white people that they can use the N-word, the hard R, on black people? And he still has a job, he still has a following, and the people still support it. My video didn't even do 2,000. I couldn't get support on that. I was pissed like hell, because that is such a hypocritical thing to do. So I disagree with Pat Bet-David on some things, but not all things. That's because I'm a human being, he's a human being, and you can disagree with somebody on an issue, but agree on another issue because you want to be unbiased enough to see it for what it is. And I agree with this. I agree. I'm tired of politicians and media faces talking smack about race. Meanwhile, they're getting along just fine. Just fine. Married to mixed race, but spending half their careers talking about it. So it is what it is. And once again, I'm not policing who you marry. I'm not Dr. Umar with that shit. Do what you do. It's a lot of other, it's tough to be in a marriage and make it work. So, I mean, I give you credit for whatever you do. That's your personal business. But when you be a contradiction, when you contradict your own self, not my expectation, you set the expectation with your mouth, with your rhetoric. You'd set up the idea, this person obviously has lives in a black house with a black car with a black wife with black kids wearing a black suit. Watching a black and white TV. Just a black TV. It's not even cut on, it's just black. Then you go over there and it's white as snow. They're playing in the snow. Snow buddies galore. That is a contradiction. Now, if Nick Fuentes married a black man, see, he would be, see what I'm saying? Just saying. You know, if I think Nick Fuentes is homosexual. Nothing wrong with that if that's what he wants to be. I'm just saying. It seems to me. That's what I think. But see, that would be a contradiction, and you very rarely see that. You very rarely see white guys that are openly anti-black or have a lot of negative things to say about black people actually married to black people. Very rarely see it, or black women. But we see it the other way with these. You get it. It's over. We done. Let me know what y'all think about this segment. This one's going to go out. It's going to ruffle feathers, but it's got to be said. What the hell? Cut the cap. You know, but they are programmed by the Democratic Party to carry a narrative, and when they have nothing else to say, they reach out and they use that and they say things, and they don't even put the, you know, I guess they think we don't see their Facebook page, or we can't Wikipedia their asses. Ilhan Omar, all this talk, all this smoke. AOC, all this talk, all this smoke for white folks. Don Lemon, all this talk, all this smoke. And just as happy with white people as can be. So which one is it? All right, let's keep going, Johnson. I think I got one more.
Up with Tim Black.
I woke up to the news that Reverend Jesse Jackson had passed away. And it was like hearing that a favorite relative had gone on to glory. He was the man who helped us understand as Americans that we are entitled to resistance, that we are obligated to build resilience, and that we have the reach to create what we need in this next wave of change. His notion of resistance was grounded in being born into Jim Crow and being denied his full agency. He was going to resist a nation that refused to give him full citizenship. And in a moment where we are watching full citizenship being stripped away from us one moment at a time, one law at a time, one rule at a time, one ICE agent at a time, the lesson of Jesse Jackson is that resistance is our legacy and it is our right. He was present on the day that Dr. King was murdered, but he was also present when people started to say that the civil rights movement had run its course. When he ran for president in 1984, he didn't just open the door for himself, he stood there and propped it open as millions ran through it. When I got a chance to sit with him, I was running to be the governor of Georgia. I had become the first Black woman in American history to gain the nomination of a major party to be governor. But I learned later that on the night I did not win, Jesse Jackson was backstage. He was there because he wanted me to know that it was not a dream defeated, it was a dream deferred. And so I say to the Reverend Jesse Jackson, your dream may be deferred, but we are still reaching, we are still believing, and hope remains alive.
I'm glad I let that play out. I was about to stop it when she brought up ICE. It's not a civil rights movement to have people removed from your country who aren't citizens. Okay, so everything else I can get with. I gotta say this. Okay. A lot of conversation about Jesse Jackson. I won't bore you with all the theories about him and all of the negativity people assign to him. You know, and I'll just say this. This has been on my heart, fam. I gotta say this. You know, when you see someone like Jesse Jackson or John Lewis, and you say it's really easy for us at this point in history and time to look back at these people and say, they didn't do this right, they didn't do that right. Why didn't they do a better job at the other thing? And I think some of us lose perspective of what the Jim Crow era was about and pre-civil rights movement was about. When I look at Jesse Jackson, when I learned that he was like 20 years old at a sit-in at a library with black students, and they all went to jail because they were protesting against that forced segregation in public spaces. And I was thinking, you know, hey, when he did that, he wasn't running for office. He wasn't trying to steal shine from anyone. Like, he wasn't a part of some plot or conspiracy, right? He was just a young black person in the 50s who not far removed from the Emmett Till massacre, who I'm sure these things were common conversations among black Americans. They heard about all of these lynchings and the tragedies, the attacks. There are people that lived through that. And they were reacting to it. And it was real to them. It wasn't something they looked at in a book. It wasn't something that someone told them. It's like the news would travel. It was real. It was happening in real time. These obvious signs. Your life is on the line. You are a second-class citizen. You're not even really a human being in this society. You're one step removed from slavery. And this is what black Americans had to deal with. And I don't think some people grasp that. I believe that people that got into the civil rights movement at that point, particularly then, they weren't trying to get deals to be on Cadillac commercials. They weren't trying to be bumper stickers for the Democratic Party or spokespersons, right? They did it because of what was going on in their lives. They did it, they formed, they organized, I believe, out of righteous, ethical positions. And I believe that struggle was real for them. I also believe as time goes on, and you're trying to fight the good fight, I believe at some point in time that things can become obscured. Harsh realities start to set in. Like, hey, I'd like to live indoors. Hey, I would like my life to be a little bit more stable. You're getting death threats. You're around celebrities, and a lot of them won't support you because there goes their credibility. Look what happened to Paul Robeson. Because it's dangerous to support you. It's still dangerous to support you now. There are a lot of black Americans working on very important things who can't get funded by black Americans, whether they want to part with the money or the ones that do have it, if they want to part with the money or do they have the money, then it's the ones that do have it, don't want the stigma, don't want the backlash from supporting. It's all those things, right? But when Jesse Jackson was coming up and many of these other folks, they were real. I believe they were real. But I believe at some point in time, man, they start making concessions. Someone says, hey, if you do this, we'll do this. If you tone it down in this way, then we can help you. But if you don't, this thing. I think Jesse Jackson had a Rainbow Coalition for a reason. Because the Black coalition would have been shut down immediately. And it would have never got funded. Black people either don't have the resources, or the stigma from those that would have the resources is so heavy, they wouldn't want to jeopardize taking the financial burden or the risk of losing their careers because of all the other reasons why they wouldn't do it. Because, well, their financial situation, they have entire families dependent on them, and they make the most money in their entire family. When they go to the family reunion, it's on them. They can't risk that because you want to start a coalition for black people. So I believe two things can be right at the same time. And it's not that I think anybody's a saint, anyone's above criticism. It's just that I believe in context, we have to be real, Johnson. I'm just telling you, it's not easy being a person speaking up, fighting, even at this level, for Black Americans. It is risky, not just physically, for your own safety and the safety of your family, and them staying employed. It's also about what's the prognosis of your future? What are you going to be able to do? I mean, once you start talking against Democratic Party, you say, why did Jesse, he was so attached to the Democratic Party. If he wasn't, would you even know who he was? Like, the system is so corrupt. People judge these people, and I've done it. And I sit back, I see all these progressives judging Jesse, got a whole lot of shit to say. No context. I'm not saying you're even wrong. I don't even know if you're wrong. I have researched all your points. But I can tell you, you're leaving out a lot of context. I think when John Lewis got hit in the head with that brick, when Jesse Jackson saw people getting assassinated, these are real things. That was real to them. And their fight was real. And I think somewhere along the line, when you're in the middle of a corrupt system, people make decisions. They make decisions, and they somehow justify them for whatever reason. Maybe it's for their own safety. Maybe it's for their own personal gain. And maybe because they were not given much choice. And maybe they think at some point, someone after me will be able to pick up the reins and be more, and go further than I was able to go. Do more than I was able to do. Someone without all the responsibilities that we have riding on us. So anyway, I just want to say, folks, it's not as cut and dry as people make it seem. Very few times do we have saints and devils. I think most people are somewhere in between. That's just what I believe, having met a lot of people. You say, why aren't these people doing more? Why aren't they going harder? Why aren't they standing on business? You know what? When you get a shot to stand on business, when you have a lot to gain or a lot to lose, it's different when you're in the driver's seat. When you're in the arena and the Tigers are over there, it looks different than when you're sitting in the stands watching somebody else fight the Tigers. Sort of like, yeah. They drugged them. You know, they drugged their fighters. They drugged the fighters in the arena with the Tigers, huh? Looked like from the outside, the Gladiator was fighting the Tigers. He had the sword. He was big. He was tough. But you didn't know they drugged him before the fight? Who knows? I don't know. My point is that I think Jesse Jackson is complex. But you know what? Anybody who steps into the arena, particularly when he did it, I'm not going to say the same thing now, but I say particularly back 60s, the late 50s, as many black people that have been murdered, assassinated. I think that's hard. I don't think the majority of people that are doing outreach work or fighting for causes right now, unnecessarily putting their lives on the line. Fam, somebody saying mean things on Facebook ain't the same thing. That's not the same thing. No, it's not. I know you want it to be. It's not. So I give respect where I think it's due, and I think it's due here. Everyone you see that disappoints you, I want you to know they're doubly disappointed in the system. Some of them, most of them, I believe, are disappointed in themselves a little, but more so disappointed in the system. The system is a mother. You just don't know it because you're not in it. You are not in it. It looks simple on the outside. Won't they just do this? Won't they just do that? I'm also keenly aware at some point when I'm gone, people are going to have a lot of shit to say about me. I get it now. Tim, why don't you do more? Very rarely does somebody who says, I have to do more, offer anything of support at all. And what I am doing, instead of getting support, you know what I get? I get people asking me for shit. They want me to help them. It's just being real with you. This is what happens. And I just want you to know, it's not all this. This is not how it is on both sides of the fence. White folks who do the bidding, who are fighting for causes other than race, this is not their lives. It's different. So it's tough, man. It's tough. If you believe that racism and supremacy and all that stuff is real, recognize whether you're Jesse Jackson or Tim Black or anybody in between, and I don't put myself up there at all. I'm nowhere up there. But recognize it's a lot of shit in the game. Rest in peace. Rest in power, Reverend Jesse Jackson. I was once more critical of these folks. I had a very simplistic view of life and sacrifice and what we needed to do. And I realize now at this point in my life, it ain't that simple. It just looks simple because you ain't the one doing it. All right, folks, I'm Tim Black. Thank you for watching this segment. I appreciate y'all. We'll be back again on what? Wednesday? Friday? On Friday? On Friday. Shout out to the Wolfpack. If this show gave you value, if you found it valuable at all, go to jointimblack.com. Prove me wrong. Help us stay independent. I'm telling you, man. I want so much more. I do. I want so much more for us. And it ain't easy. Can we all just recognize it ain't easy? You know? Everybody flawed. Everyone has their own issues. And we got a time clock on our shit, too. That's something, ain't it? We got a time clock and we got a lot of issues. Go to jointimblack.com, become a member. Share this. You know what? You can share the video with people, man. Don't get it twisted, man. I appreciate the people that help support what we do. And I know damn well there's other things you could do. You're not obligated to do anything for this broadcast. Just know, for even a broadcast to survive, people got to fund it. So we do what we got to do. At this current rate, I'm putting out 50 pieces of content a day. Unlike some people, I'm not just sitting back going, hook me up. I'm busting my ass, fam. That's my goal every day. It's 50 pieces of content a day. That's what I do. And we gotta work hard. You gotta work hard, fam, and get the message out. So if you're a working class person, you're a person that doesn't have a trust fund, this is a show for you. And if you believe that both of these parties are full of it, both parties suck, if you believe that both parties have a bunch of corruption in them, but this is a good place for you. If you come here worshiping politicians, this is not the place for you because you ain't going to make it. But if you'll have an open mind, that you will accept things are a lot more complicated than you thought, and whoever the media is putting up front, whoever they're saying is great, you need to look at them 2-3 times more close. Because there's a reason why the establishment is saying this is a good person. It ain't because they fighting for you. If they was fighting for you, they wouldn't even be mentioning their names. That's how this works. They don't have to put out 50 pieces of content a day. They got media doing it for them. So that's what it is, Johnson. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Look, we're going to do this again on Friday. Shout out to my moderators. We got Ebony, Black Mamba, and Buck Bewley holding it down. I appreciate you. Thank you, Miss Kitty Catty. Constance, the best good, brother. Thank you, fam. Hey, man, I think I'm doing my best work, man. And shout out, look, Antoine, shout out to all the content creators. Whoever you love, fam, shout out to those people putting it down, too. I don't mean to say that I'm the only one, because I'm not. Yeah, I'm just saying, fam, I know damn well I'm not the only person out here fighting. Not the only person out here putting out content. It's a lot of good people doing a lot of good work. So shout out to those people that do the damn thing, who are speaking up, being honest and true, and trying their best to be real. We may have different opinions because we have different vantage points, but I'm saying you know a real one when you see it. So I'm not giving any false impressions that it's all about this show, because there's other shows, I'm sure. I'm busy as hell, so I don't watch that many of them, but I know there's good people. And that's part of the reason why I had to say that about Jesse Jackson, because some people have egos big as, I don't know what, maybe not egos, some people are naive. I'm not the only person that said black people need this and that. And I'm sure there are a lot of black people that are sitting back going, yeah, I know. But it's hard as hell because the system doesn't want that for us. So instead of having the mindset, everybody else is sellout. Nobody else want to try. Nobody else wants us to have. Nobody else wants to put it on the line. At some point, you got to look around and say, hey, there's a reason why these people are doing what they do. It's a reason. You got to leave room for that. Yes, there are going to be scam artists and scumbags and people who lack integrity, but not everybody's that way. Not everybody, right? Some people have integrity. So what happened? What's going on, Johnson? Like Marvin Gaye said, what's going on? And these are just questions I had to ask myself. I had to climb my ass down off my high horse and say, hold on a second, Tim. You ain't breaking the law. You didn't invent anything of this. Like, you ain't the first person to see the condition of black people in America, to see the condition of 40% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. They get a flat tire, they on a bus, or they're pawning something. 40%. So it's like, dog, you're not the only person that sees this. Why is that not a conversation? Why is that not on cable news tonight? That has nothing to do with race, has nothing to do with religion or gender or who's in whose bathroom. I just said 40% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency without borrowing money or pawning something right now. And why isn't that being talked about? So when you open your mind to that and you know these numbers, Millions of children are living underneath the poverty line. When you open your mind to these things and say, why is that not a topic of conversation? Well, damn it, that's the thing, right? All right, I'm gone, man. I love y'all. I see y'all Friday. I can talk all night. It's what I do, you know? Y'all be safe. Now, everybody's got reasons for doing what they do. I tell you, be courageous, be bold, but most of all, stay dangerous. And I got reasons for doing what I do, so I got a cheat sheet, right? I'm cheating the game. I'm cheating the game because I have a reason for doing what I do. And here goes just a few of my reasons.
Now, there you go. I can't wait till it's my turn.
Baby.